We're on a mission to talk to the 100 leading marketing minds in the automotive space. I'm Andrew Street, owner of Dealer OMG.
Matthew Davis here, Chief Marketing Officer at Trade Pending. Why are we doing this? Well, we like automotive, we like marketers, and we like retail automotive marketers. Our goal here is to give you the insights into what these leading marketers are thinking, planning, and doing.
How does a single point Toyota dealership grow to 700 vehicles acquired each month? It's with their marketing and their service departments. Now, join me on this episode of the 100 Marketers Project. I'm joined here with Brandon Price, the marketing director of the Cavender Auto Family, one of my favorite auto groups by far in the nation. While he talks about growing his marketing team from just him to 14 people, while they acquired a handful of stores and have, I think, 17 stores now. Enjoy this conversation and like and subscribe and review and whatever you can do to help out. So you want to tell us just who you are, a little bit about your background and what you do.
Well, Brandon Price. I have been with the Cavender Auto Family for 20 years. About 12 years ago, was promoted to the digital marketing director role. Started with handling just one store, then had a second, and then we decided to go ahead and buy everything. So I've now got 12 brands under 17 rooftops in a fairly short amount of time, about the last 4 years. So it's grown pretty quickly.
What's that felt like?
It's been a ride, that's for sure. It has definitely been a ride. It has been like drinking from the fire hydrant, for quite a while. But getting things situated, taken care of. Obviously, growing pains. We have dramatically increased our capacity on the marketing side, where quite literally it was myself and one other individual, and now we've got a team of about 14 people.
Oh, okay, that's big.
Yeah. So anything from media buying to digital, graphic design to social media content creation, all sorts of facets.
So that's totally different. It's kind of like doing what I've done, like going from fine tuning things for one dealership to all of a sudden growing an ad agency, which is a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
So
you're right. How did Andrew?
Yeah, it almost feels like you're running your own in-house agency there. Is that a fair analogy, or do you think about it in a different way?
That's effectively what we've done. We've actually cut ties with advertising agencies that we were using in the past, and we brought things in-house. So we've been able to go ahead and turn things out a lot quicker. We're able to go ahead and pivot a lot quicker, and when things come up just out of the blue, we're able to go ahead and act on them and get things turned out for the different stores. So it worked out well.
And did you start in marketing?
Started selling cars.
Oh, okay.
I've done a little bit of everything around the dealership, from selling cars to, I've turned wrenches before. I've done a little bit in parts. Know enough about finance and sales desk to be dangerous as well. So I've done a little bit of everything around the dealership.
Yeah, it's I had Brandon get on a stage with me at Digital Dealer before in a panel and talk about what makes a good marketing director, because there's completely different types. Like some people are really into the oversight of vendors and execution and reporting. Some are into the creative side. Some are just familiar with how a dealership works. And Brandon kind of comes with just like the dealership chops, and then he kind of got a front row education in how marketing works for the dealership and kind of getting all the stuff executed, lined up. And so like, as you guys are onboarding new stores, have you sort of come up with a playbook that's been working well for you guys to have a checklist of what all the things that you guys need to get done is?
We do, actually, and it's with our latest acquisitions that we've done, it's worked out quite well. We effectively assembled our team together that has responsibilities in all different areas. Coming into the acquisition, we're meeting usually once every couple of weeks. Right up to acquisition, we're sometimes meeting almost every day, just to make sure everyone's got different things covered. So that way, once we do go ahead and close, once we go ahead and our dealer code is issued to us, we can activate everything where we need to, from websites to inventory to then starting to get advertising rolling and try to make that shift from the previous ownership to us as quick as possible.
You make it sound easy.
I mean, make it look easy too, but
There's a
few other things going on behind the curtain there.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what our marketing department does, but it's smooth. It's already live.
There we go.
So how do you, when you're going through all these acquisitions, how do you think about folding them into the Cavender family? Is it mostly from like a branding perspective? Are we going to keep the company name? Are we going to change it? How are we going to message that to the community and to the market?
A lot of the DBA is negotiated with the OEMs whenever we're looking at the acquisition. We have most of our stores have the Cavender name on them. Some have Confidence, and some begin with the OEM name. We have 2 Audi stores. Both of them are Audi wherever they're at, right? Lubbock, Dominion, etc. Same thing with BMW. But a lot of the OEMs allow us to go ahead and put our name on there. So we've been able to go ahead and do that. We've got a couple of stores that go under the name Confidence. And that has been a tagline for the Cavender family for several decades now. And we've just, our owners said, you know what, always wanted to name a dealership Confidence. So we've got a couple of them now.
I've got a really tactical question, Andrew, that I want to ask Brandon, and then I'll stop asking questions for a little bit here. When you acquire those stores, are you able to absorb that marketing budget and essentially it's additive? So now I've got more money to play with, or are you trying to, or being asked to essentially like get some efficiencies there, some scale, or is it a combo of both?
A little bit of both. There's some things that we will carry over from what previous ownership was doing. A lot of what we will end up doing, though, is take several of the formulas in winning stores that we have that are winning and go ahead and implement those into our newer stores. We have found that sometimes, in most cases, that typically works. Some markets respond better to certain tactics than others. And so we've had to modify just a little bit as we go through that. But as we put our business plan together and the type of business that we're going to do in sales, the type of business we're going to do in fixed ops, we go ahead and assign a budget to that based off of our pro forma and what we're going to end up doing. And so then we go ahead and just kind of back into the budget that way. In a lot of cases, when we first go ahead and acquire a store, we're gonna pump a little bit more into it, just to first off get our name out there. Secondly, especially in markets where the Cavender name may not be as well known, we'll put a little bit more into the branding side of things to go ahead and start to get our name in front of people, as opposed to the previous ownership.
Have you found much success, like with getting the name out there when you switch a name to getting in front of that existing customer base that the previous owner, the previous store's name had?
We've had some successes and challenges. A couple of the stores that we acquired, the previous ownership of the store was not as well regarded by the public and by their customers. So in a lot of cases, we've had, customers say, "Oh, thank goodness y'all went ahead and bought this thing because we hated going there with the previous ownership." In others, we acquired stores that were under some very, very well established names from ownership, and so there's been a little bit of resistance to change, if you will, from the owner base. Some are, kind of set in their ways. And they're like, well, I wish you did things like they did. Or, those people have been part of the community. You people are new and just came in. We don't even know who you are. So that's where we have to take the time to build strategies around introducing people to who we are, whether it be through advertising mediums, whether it be through social mediums, whether it be through literally having events at the dealership to introduce people to who we are. And so we've had to work through different scenarios, again, different markets and different ownership.
That's interesting. It's like as you get new stores, it's sort of like different personalities of a store that you're going to acquire. It's like, okay, this one is a personality B. They have a bad reputation. So new name, good news community. We're an integral part of your community, new ownership, new everything. We're here to, entrench ourselves in the neighboring communities, employ the neighborhood, and do, great deals with you guys and services. And let's go after everybody driving our brand versus these people have a great reputation. So same great staff, same great team, same part of the community versus a turnaround strategy. It sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been interesting. That's for sure.
Brandon, how do you think about this kind of top level? You're overseeing 14 people and just a lot of things going on. How do you think about balancing brand awareness and getting the name out versus my people just want leads so they can sell cars right now?
There's definitely a balance on that. In the markets where we've been established for several years, we don't have to put as much emphasis on the branding portion of it. And so we can go ahead and focus a little bit more on the lead generation piece of it, right? In the markets where our name was not even thought of, we've really had to learn how to kind of adapt our strategies to building our brand awareness in addition to driving the leads, because, as sales and service both, are looking for, well, we want more opportunities. We want more opportunities to go ahead and do business. We want to, especially on the sales side, we want to sell more cars. We want more leads. But we also need to introduce people to, again, who we are. And that's where, with our latest acquisitions, we've had to make sure we cut some budget out for the branding situation to go ahead and make sure people do understand who we are. But realistically, to address your question, there's no one answer for it. It just kind of depends on the situation.
And with a lot of the new stores you guys have, so Matthew and Brandon, you both have a similar bond or a similar interest in vehicle acquisition off the streets. Matthew's with Trade Pending, and Brandon has kind of him and the Toyota store where he works out of have written the book on how to do vehicle acquisition through the service department and through the marketing department. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of that, Brandon, but they do something like 700 cars a month in trades.
That's a lot.
Have you been able to get that established at any other stores, really, in any capacity?
So going into shortage, we knew that we were looking at 2 or 3 months away, and we were going to be hurting because we weren't going to be getting cars. So we knew we had to figure out a way to be able to acquire vehicles. And the biggest acquisition piece was right on the other side of the dealership, which was a service drive. And so then we developed processes. We developed putting the people in the right places to be able to go ahead and get customers interested in parting with their vehicle, and in addition, giving them the great idea that they can get a great deal on a new car as well. But as far as what we're purchasing right off the service drive, there's probably not a single day that goes by that we're not buying something just outright right off the service drive. But in most cases, it has helped to be able to go ahead and be a sales driver. So, not only are we acquiring the inventory for the used car department, we're also then selling a new car at the same time, and working in conjunction with the service department. If they have a bill that's over there, or if they have a big estimate that's over there, we're still going to go ahead and obviously take the car in on trade, and we're going to fix it, and we're going to go ahead and make sure the service department gets paid as well. We don't want to take money out of their pocket either.
Yeah, we hear that sometimes. There's that friction. They're like, hey, you're taking money away from me. It's good to hear you guys have figured that out. What are some of the kind of the basic tactics you guys are doing to source from the service drive? Like, you have banners in there? Are you printing out a evaluation with every order? Or do you have a separate staff that's responsible for that? Or is it the salespeople coming in? What are some of those key little, I don't know, orchestrated elements that you do to pull this off?
We developed our own in-house form that gets printed out. We have individuals on the service drive who are scanning. Mornings are typically the busiest, right? We get a line out to the street of people who are waiting to get in. But we've got individuals on the service drive. They'll scan the VINs, pop the miles in, punch it in, what have you. We've got a general appraiser who is then assigning values to all the vehicles, and they'll go ahead and get printed out on the sheet, which goes with the customer's RO, and it shows how much we'll buy the car for today. It shows how much, and depending on what state you're in, right, you may have tax credits on trading. Also shows how much money they would save on taxes on trading it for a new vehicle. And then, if they did sell it to us today, we would pay for their service bill. And so there's a few different hooks that are on there, if you will. But in addition to just doing that and just, the receptionist handing them their paperwork when they're done and they have this buying sheet, we actually also have our sales team, proactively reaching out to those customers to say, hey, just want to let you know, did you get your sheet? If they're still here, we may say, hey, we went ahead and we want to purchase your vehicle from you, and then let them have the idea that, oh, well, I need something to drive. Great, come on over. And, and so we're being very proactive on making sure that anyone that we're assigning a value to is getting a phone call, including myself. I've been called several times from having my vehicle in service.
I thought you were picking up the phone and calling, but you're actually the one getting the call.
I was the one getting the call.
That's ghost shopping yourself almost.
Yeah. Do you trade in your car every time they call you?
What's that?
Do you trade in your vehicle after they call you? Like, okay, I guess.
It's provided some good opportunities on a couple of those calls to have a salesperson come over and let's coach up a little bit on some of your verbiage that you're using.
They see it too, and they're like, "Damn it!"
And then especially when I say, "Hey, where are you physically located at the dealership right now?" I say, "Oh, okay, let me come see you." So they're like, "Oh, great! What do I do now?" No, it's always a good conversation. Always a good conversation. Always willing to help a salesperson who could be able to do something a little bit better, to be able to serve their customer better, serve themselves better, and serve the dealership better.
It's a good byproduct of driving the dealership's vehicles too. You fall into some other the mouse traps that you don't just do by filling out the lead forms on the website.
Oh, this is very true.
Stuff to make sure they work.
Yep. Give us a sense of, so in terms of just acquiring used vehicles from the public, do you have a dedicated outbound team for this? Are you running campaigns across social media, wherever?
Purchasing from the public, we had been initially running some social campaigns to go ahead and try to drive some of that. Where the market has now re-evolved back into, we're not so much running campaigns to go ahead and specifically acquire vehicles from the public. Do we have some signage up on one of our buildings? Absolutely. A lot of what we end up doing is, especially as we're working some of our equity mining tools, part of the verbiage that we put into place is, obviously trade up. But if it's like, no, I'm not wanting to trade up, great. Would you be willing to would you be willing to allow us to buy your vehicle back from you? I mean, just straight up, just buy it back from you and leave it at that. And we've had a few people that have said, you know what? Yeah, actually, I will sell it.
Has anyone ever traded down? Is that a thing? Maybe we could test that, Andrew.
Some people do trade down. Some people do trade down.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, a really good friend of mine has someone they're acquainted with at work who wanted to literally trade down. Had a large truck, wanted to trade down into a small SUV. I said, well, come see me. Let's go. And so we went ahead and took care of them.
Simplifying. I've been around a number of marketing meetings with leadership teams at dealerships, and it's hard to go too far without them bringing up AI and what are we doing with AI? It was in our 20 group. Do you guys have much of a focus with AI in any capacity at the marketing end?
We've been working with a few different forms of the AI tools for a little over a year now. Whether it be on the sales side or the service side or even the marketing side of things. On the sales side, integrating that AI tool into our CRM to assist our internet people with follow-up. It's also consequently helped a lot of our OEM metrics with response time as well. So added bonus there. But we've been using it in that aspect. With some of our stores, we also have implemented chat on the website using an AI tool. On the service side of things, we have used it in campaigns for contacting customers who are on the bubble of us losing them. Right, they haven't been in so long that we're about to get dinged on an OEM metric, right? There's several different service campaigns that are out there that we can go ahead and reach out to our customers to as well. From the marketing side of things, linking in with our equity mining pieces to go ahead and start to reach out to customers through an AI piece. To go ahead and try to generate some interest, or at least getting clicks into the website, getting people looking at shopping for inventory, and then we can go ahead and say, okay, well, now let's go ahead and have our salespeople reach out to these customers and just say, hey, I'm just doing a follow up with you. Looks like you hadn't been in a little while, and just wanted to make sure things are going well, et cetera, et cetera. And they're like, oh, well, actually, I was shopping for a car. Yeah.
Dude,
gotta work on the verbiage though. Can't say, hey, I saw you were on the website. Right. You opened this email.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Gotta
when you forwarded it too, it looks like. Yeah.
Exactly.
And by the way,
all that stuff is not marketing. It seems like all the outreach to service customers and stuff, does that fall on marketing's desk to see just performing?
To a point, but also have to work very closely with the service leadership team. We've got to be careful on some of the messages that we can put out there, depending on OEM. There's a lot of little tricks and things of that nature, and not so much tricks.
You got to keep everybody happy.
You got to keep everyone happy, and you got to make sure to stay compliant. That's one of the biggest things, is making sure you stay compliant with the OEM.
Is handcuffs too strong a word?
It's might be.
Your wrist slapped.
I don't put anybody in a corner here.
Well, what else is cool that's working well for you guys right now?
A lot of the things that are working well for us are just fundamentals, just basic blocking and tackling. The fundamentals is what will really sustain us and what have you. Yes, we can look for all of the next generation systems and the piece of the AI that will go ahead and do this some of the AI tools that are out there, the phone handling, things of that nature, right? We can look at a lot of these different tools that are out there to be able to use, but if we're not doing the very basics, which is still the human interaction, which is still what people want, then we're not going to win. And so that's where we still continue to put a lot of focus between variable operations, fixed operations, is making sure that we are adhering to our basics and making sure that we're serving our customers.
And on just with social media right now, with your team going out there, it sounds like you got boots on the ground at the stores, shooting some content. What do you feel like is working well, whether it's paid or organic?
On the organic side, we're seeing a lot more of an uptick in engagement with not so much shooting content that, hey, here's this car, it's on special, that's got a low price. It's actually been more of our team. It's been how our team's interacting. It's been what we're doing around the dealership, and it's those personal experiences that I think a lot of people are coming out of the COVID ether, and they're like, you know what? I've sequestered myself long enough. I want to see more of those, those human experiences, and they want to get out from behind the screen and go, you know what? This place is pretty cool because they're doing this and this and this. I want to go experience that. And so we're seeing a lot more engagement with that and a lot more positivity off of it.
Yeah, sometimes the car can be the story, but the real story is always the people. Like that's what people latch onto in general. And who are these people as humans? What do they do? Who are they? Can they entertain me? And by the way, here's a car for sale.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, and not only that, but it also will go ahead and introduce our team to them. So, again, if we have a general manager who, participates in a lot of our content, and people come to the store, they're like, hey, I saw this guy. I saw the video on him. And so it makes a much more personal connection. And, again, and as we're finding more and more, as people are wanting to see that connection and go experience it, it's working well for us.
Yeah, I think Andrew lives that every day. Whenever he goes to any kind of conference, everybody sees him on video all the time. They're like, that's the guy. There he is.
Him. Yeah, there he is.
That's more you than me. I sit pretty far away from my camera. You're right in the camera lens.
That's true. I'm way closer.
Yeah, you
zoom out
some real estate. But yeah, I feel like when you have that that vibe, that lack of reluctance to start shooting content inside the dealership and the vehicle trade-ins and all the interesting stuff that people don't really see, the employees like to see that stuff too. Mm-hmm. And their other, the co-workers getting on there, and then their friends see it and their friends and family, and starts to kind of build a cool community where I like to think it builds sort of work culture and a tool for recruiting people, as well as getting customers just to see the pulse of a dealership outside of, we're number one in certified pre-owned vehicles 2 months in a row. And
well, you actually hit on something, Andrew, is from the recruiting side of it too. We actually have people who want to come to work for us because they have seen on social who we are, and want to be a part of it, right? I mean, they want to be. Everyone wants to go work for the best workplace, right? And so when they start to see that, it's like, oh, okay, I think I want to go work there. So we've gained quite a few of our team members, whether it be from variable or fixed, simply because of some of the social media content we're putting out there.
That's amazing. And do you feel like they're more engaged or invested in being successful there as a result of that?
I think so. People want to be part of something that's bigger than they are, and they want to try to be an important part to it. And if they can enjoy doing that and enjoy the people that they work with, that just makes for a great workplace.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we want to provide to our entire team is we want to provide just that.
Yeah. So we are rounding the back corner of the year. What are you looking forward to in 2026? Some areas that you might be experimenting with? AI everything? AI everything. I'm just kidding.
AI is a piece of it. Yes. Are we, now that we've been in the AI space for over a year, we have determined some areas that are working well. We determined some areas that we could have some opportunity. We're starting to kind of A/B test with some different software platforms to be able to go ahead and find a right mix for the market that the stores are in. And in some cases, customers of one OEM respond better to a particular software and how it operates than customers of a different OEM.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. We've discovered that because there's no one perfect tool that's out there, and they don't all work for everything. And so we've been able to kind of figure out, all right, this works over here for this crowd and these types of shoppers and people who are servicing their vehicles, but it doesn't work for this model over here, this OEM.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables. Like it's rural, it's more urban, it's different manufacturers. Have you guys found any way to help get applications for service techs?
We are working with a partner that is specific in the technician space. One of the biggest things that we have found is as we go ahead and bring technicians on, their circle of influence is pretty tight. And when we bring them on and they see how well we operate, a lot of times they bring their friends.
That's
I mean, here, I'll give you a perfect example. One of our stores hired a gentleman from Puerto Rico to become a technician, to be a technician in the shop, relocated from Puerto Rico. Loved it so much and saw how we operate and has never worked in a situation like that before. I had 5 of his friends go ahead and join us as well. So we got 6 technicians from hiring 1.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Andrew, this reminds me of, who were we talking to? Scott? And he's talking about the Vietnamese niche angle they were taking with the advertising there. This is just right up that alley. You find one community and you do what you do right, and it just builds.
Mm-hmm.
You get into that little dugout, and then it spreads across all the players in their little dugout, and it's like, okay, great. Like that's why I've learned, like with the social advertising too, especially with recruiting, it's like, do you know somebody looking to level up their career? Sign up bonus, air conditioned bays, all the things that we could possibly put out there.
Sure.
But then to see it shared with a lot of folks sometimes, I'm like, okay, cool. That might not be the right person, but they're plugged in with the right person or the right community. Well, Brandon, man, I cannot thank you enough for taking a little time out of your Saturday to jump on, because I know that it's been amazing to see you grow this footprint with dealerships and your role from just you and a graphic designer to where you guys are now, man. And it's cool. I like the transparency of sharing your story. And I know people, is there anywhere online that people can follow you?
I keep a pretty low profile. We'll just say that. I'm kind of the antithesis of anyone in marketing that has every social media platform that they could be on. But
just the company
probably coming soon.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know what I can do to help from my desk, my friend.
Thank you, Brandon.
Hope you enjoyed this conversation. If you did, please subscribe to the show. It helps us get out to more people like you. And if you know somebody or you're somebody that's a sharp marketer in automotive, please reach out to us. We'd love to feature you on the show. Reach out to Ashley at dealeromg.com.